Welcome back in, everyone, to America's Morning Headquarters here as we help you plan your day and the rest of your week. As Alex mentioned, we have it all again. The system moving from west to east across the country, and we will have another risk of a severe weather outbreak, as well as a snowstorm and maybe even a blizzard.
Amazing.
So dynamic.
Literally, we have it all this week is essentially what we're going to have here as we head through the end of the week. So, of course, we're here to track it all, keep you ahead of those storms as well as the snow issues. We'll let you know exactly where the heaviest snow is expected to set up, as well as where the biggest threat for the severe weather will be.
And there is actually two areas, so we need to hone in on that forecast here. We'll get right out to it and show you what we can expect we have to focus in on. And one spot is St. Louis. So I'm standing here in our virtual view, and let me tell you, today is going to be a pretty nice day in St. Louis. So a good day to go out and enjoy this weather, but also make sure you have your plan ready for the risk of severe weather. Let's take it into the forecast and show you what's coming, and want to compare that to where we just saw tornadoes with the last outbreak here. So over the weekend, we saw 18 confirmed tornadoes here in the south. Look at where we have the tornadoes compared to where we have the risk of incoming severe weather. Unfortunately, they do overlap. Now, on this risk, and we look ahead to the rest of the week, we've got two areas that we're likely to see storms up to the north, Iowa into Illinois, and then also to the south into Arkansas, into parts of Tennessee. But there's a much broader area in that red zone that we are looking at where everyone does have that risk of severe weather, and there's at least a 3 in the Torcon in the whole red zone. But there's a 7 when we look down here into eastern Arkansas, western Tennessee, and including that northwestern portion of Mississippi. A 7 on the Torcon there. There's a 5 on the Torcon up to the north. So now into Iowa and into portions of Illinois. We've got to be ready for that risk of severe weather. This is for tomorrow, just to remind you, this forecast. And it's not just the risk of tornadoes. We have a very potent jet stream, and actually it extends to maybe about 20,000 feet or so with very strong winds at the upper levels. And likely that we'll see strong damaging winds, maybe up over 70 or 75 miles per hour here from Iowa into Illinois. Also, though, looking for that big wind threat to the south. I mean, we have all modes of severe weather possible. The tornado and the wind threat are the two biggest ones. So what are the ingredients coming together? Well, tomorrow we're going to have our surface low pressure tracking in up here into portions of Iowa, Illinois. At the in the south, we also have our dry line extending down and the cold front sweeping in. Out ahead of it, this is going to happen through the day tomorrow and even really starting today. Really strong southerly flow, bringing up the temperatures, 70s and 80s, bringing up the dew points, raising the instability, and that will be building throughout the day tomorrow. The lifting mechanisms will be this front, but also just the air itself, because it's going to be buoyant, it's going to be warm, it's going to be humid, and we're going to have some strong winds. We will be looking for that risk of storms to fire up. Really strong southwest winds. You go a couple of thousand feet up, you go just above that. Even stronger winds here, a really potent, again, area of winds, maybe up over 100 or 110 miles per hour at about 20,000 feet. That's going to be part of the ingredients going into giving that threat of both strong damaging winds and tornadoes. Alex.
And we talked about how the threat zone is pretty low.
Yeah, and I want to hone in on some of the cities you were just talking about, Alex, and take a look at timing and some specifics. Let's go in first into the south, where we have
it's a classic sort of early spring storm system, although it feels like we've been dealing with a spring storm system since December.
I know. I was going to say we have our experience with these kind of storm systems that drop severe weather to the south and then snow to the north. All right, we'll be right back. We're going to talk more about flooding actually coming up and some of the issues. We want to warn people that it's possible, but it's contingent, you know, on things like that.
So just being prepared for it.
Being prepared,
right?
yeah.
Absolutely.
You got to be ready to, I think most importantly, be ready for changes in the forecast, always. You know, we say that about snowstorms, we say that about severe weather outbreaks and hurricanes too.
So true. When it comes to all these types of situations, preparation is just so key with everything, right?
Well, tomorrow we have a lot more confidence in how things are coming together, and we're pretty confident that there will be severe weather. Yeah,
unfortunately, that's going to be the risk here for us over a pretty large zone as well. Let's detail some of the areas that we are focusing on the greatest risk for these thunderstorms, and we'll focus in line for another big blast of snow in the coming days. Outside of the west, the regions have been among the few consistently cold enough to support a deep winter snowpack.
We keep saying that they won winter up here, mainly because they had a big winter. Now, meteorologist Jordan Steele shows us how river towns are bracing for the spring melt and the likelihood of serious flooding. In St. Louis, we've got, again, great weather today. Temps are going to be near 70, beautiful. Go outside, enjoy it. and maybe a good day to, clean out your garage in case you want to get your car in there because of hail, because that'll be another risk too.
Right, exactly. A day to prepare for these storms, which are expected to come in. This is Friday. We're talking late afternoon, rush hour time, essentially.
Rush hour time, yeah.
So be ready for that. All right, well, city pick, I'm going to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Ever since.
That's so interesting.
Right? I know.
Yeah.
It was wild. I was like, oh, how does that work? Well, there you go.
And weather is just so mean, right? Like
the
fact that it has this connotation in so many sports teams.
It's true. There's a ton of them. In fact, one of these we'll list them all out, but there's a ton of them out there. But here you go. The forecast does call for a few storms heading into your Friday morning. Be prepared for that. You're kind of right on the edge of the severe risk in Tulsa, but still there could be some strong winds, but beautiful weather for the weekend.
Yeah, looks good after that.